Hello and welcome back to round one, back nine feature card coverage of the first MPO major of the 2024 season, the 2024 PDGA Champions Cup, presented by Bushnell, your company. One of your companies. Paul Ulibarri, Jeremy Koling. You know the deal. BigBarri commentary. And on the front nine, we saw what the front nine does at this course, which is gives you a little bit, gives you those buffer strokes that you really need to take advantage of and take it with you into the back nine, where the course really becomes the most difficult track in the sport of disc golf. Casey White has more buffer strokes than anyone at 5 under par. Very hot start. 3 other players at 4, and then a bunch at 3 under and 2 under. All good scores. Everyone's in it. As long as you are somewhat close to par, you're in it. Really, that's the way it goes to this place, because just because someone shoots a good round today, they could give it all back tomorrow.
Absolutely. Hole 10. Poof. Yeah. Par 4, 722. This is a new rendition of one of the hardest holes you will ever play. You're going to see sidearm low skip shots under that low canopy. There is an out of bounds parking lot on the right-hand side that you might see some people try to go hyzer over. Mm-hmm. You also see some rollers, but whatever you're doing, you want to get right so that you can have a straighter shot. You saw the fairway over there, and it is...
I like this from Paul. If I can miss these trees, it just barely does, and that
prime
is the spot near that tee pad. If you're within 20, 30 feet of the tee pad, you're in a good spot. You have now gained access to the second shot.
Yeah, that tee pad, if you were to go play that course, it is one of the harder birdies on that course.
Oh, and yeah, right, it would be. And Isaac was heading to this, a very similar spot. A great looking line just connecting on one of those rogue trees down there in the fairway. Another common play, the roller here can get into a good spot.
Oh, I love this. This is great.
Yeah, that is a really nice one. You can see Paul's drive just off to the left. Maybe he's going backhand.
Hyzer, just got to miss the Guardians. You're taking on a lot of trees over there.
Oh, look at this. On the tee box? On the tee box! Oh my gosh.
Can't throw it any better.
Wow, that's so cool.
I guess you could be at the very end of the tee box.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that. One place you don't want to kick is left.
Near instant bogey.
Especially if you don't have a sidearm. He does. Just for this situation.
Eagle. I mean, this grouping of tee shots, some of the 4 best tee shots you'll see, and we've only seen 2 approaches, and they both could be bogeys now.
You'd almost rather be where Paul is.
Oh, buddy.
You can put it on hyzer and flip it all the way to the hole.
Oh, gosh.
Well, that's
past
great.
The pin in 2. That was fantastic. And did that say cicada?
Yes.
Nice controlled hyzer flip from McBeth. And look at this tee shot. My goodness. Anthony Barela just left with a straight shot.
Is that too much turn?
It looks to be turning too much.
Oh, that's okay, though.
Yeah.
It's a putt. Not one you'd like. One that's going to challenge your Circle 1 stats, that's for sure. Which is why I think that the green should be different than Circle 1.
Amorphous shapes.
Here's Isaac. He's just going to pitch out to a good spot, or at least attempt to.
Yeah, and
it didn't.
It's
going to be
okay.
good enough for his
he's fine.
His backhand. Yeah.
But yeah, that's 2 really good drives that are more than likely going to turn into bogeys unless Eagle makes a long one from the rough. This is only the 3rd most difficult hole on the course. By now, if you're watching this, you've probably familiar with hole 12. AB, unfortunately, unable to capitalize on that. For all intents and purposes, perfect tee shot. And Isaac's going to turn it into a double ball.
Been landing just inside the circle and not being able to connect. McBeth, though, great birdie.
And so many places, bogey feels almost like par. Like you feel like okay with bogeys. The double bogeys are the one thing you have to avoid over the course of this tournament.
There's only one hole you can take a double bogey on, and it's okay.
And that's just a bogey. Because it's a par 6, and we all know it. Do you think you were going to avoid that just because it's a different year, fans? No. I'm going to make that argument every time we play that hole.
Just a really hard par 5. Here we go. Into hole 10.
It's so hard to not yell. Paul McBeth is now at 4 under. That birdie is one of very few. We had 6 birdies on the day on that one.
Wow.
Incredible.
I think that stat will go up after the bad rain tomorrow. I think people will figure out how to play that one.
Yeah.
Personally.
Hole 11. This hole's been a part of this course for quite a while. Got the hyzer flip forehand and the late turning backhand. Both options. Do not kick right early. Or left early.
He missed it by so much that he's going to get away with a par. That's a good thing. If he barely misses that, instant bogey. Ooh,
Just missed that one. Oh, that's the one.
No.
That dark tree in the dead center is the one. You can miss it left or right. It doesn't matter. Just pick a side and get by, and you got a birdie look.
This is going to be fine for a par.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll have some kind of look, but it will be obstructed.
Pulled it. Don't.
Okay. Fine. That could have been so much worse.
But he kind of got lucky and then hit the strongest branch.
That's right. But yeah, if that kick's right, again, you just cannot save par off to that right side.
And at this point, he's got to be thinking about putting these shots closer. The putt from circle's edge just isn't working.
It's not falling. It's just not been his putting. I think it might not be his putting year. I think he's been struggling this season, which is one of the reasons we haven't quite seen him as frequently. It's partial speculation, but I know that he's been open and vulnerable about some of his struggles he's had so far this season. Obviously holds himself to a very high standard, which...
The highest standard you can have in the game, a world champion.
Yep. It's the pinnacle. Paul scrambles through the woods effectively, and he'll have a tap in par.
Yeah, you were right. Eagle actually got pretty far up there. I thought that was going to be in the 80-foot range, and he's only 50.
Yeah, but that's what you're left with. I mean, you just got to have... You're playing Plinko through those trees. It is so heavily guarded on its short right side, which is so cruel because that's where the forehand wants the funnel to. You'll very rarely ever see a forehand just park this hole perfectly. It's so hard to do. You have to have something flipping up the whole way, and you have to have a ton of power to boot.
The toughest part about hole 11 is you're thinking maybe I could sneak a birdie with a long putt, or maybe, and then all of a sudden you come out there with a bad kick and a bogey, and you're going into the toughest hole in the world. And
a backup usually too.
Yeah, and so you have time to think about it, and the thoughts aren't great.
Well, it only netted 11 birdies on the hole. 11 birdies on hole 11. And here we go, folks. Buckle up. Hole 12, 1,050 feet. Plays just a hair under 1,400. Got to throw a perfect tee shot. From there, the decision is, do I lay up at the bottom of the hill like a human being, or do I try to go superhero and get to the top? From the top, you actually have a look up the gut here for the Eagle 4. I'll call it what it is. For the rest of the week, I'm going to call it a par 5. But and everyone knows what it is. Paul going hyzer flip play.
It's fine if he just misses everything. This is a par play. So if you get to that tee pad, yeah, fine.
Yeah, it's difficult to get to the top of the hill from there.
You want to be right if you want to get to the top.
Correct. AB has had some incredible success on this hole. Somebody was telling us, sharing a stat with me about how many total times this hole has been played in elite level competition and how many birdies there have been. And I'm pretty sure Anthony Barela birdied at both rounds that we played the course last year.
Yep.
Him being like the only person both days. Maybe there was one other, but he definitely.
There's only 2 other players who have birdied it twice.
Incredible. That was a great tee shot from Eagle. Isaac looking to follow the line. This is overturned, but it gets through everything until
That's fine. I keep saying that. That's fine.
It really is.
But it is like these kicks where you're like, oh, that's going to cost you. On a hole like this, it really isn't.
You take everything with a grain of salt. Now, Anthony's still trying to get ultra aggressive and throw a forehand to the top of the hill. And he's just off.
He might be able to get a little bit down the fairway.
What is McBeth going to try to do? If you're trying to go to the top of the hill, which it appears that he is trying to do that.
I think he's doing it.
That is so good. Man, just being 10 feet from the top of the hill is a big difference.
Costs you 100 feet.
Yeah. Yep. The ideal play, if you're not trying to get to the top of the hill, is to be back here, though, because your angle to get up that slope actually increases every foot you are away from that hill. And see, now,
this is no man's land.
Yeah, and Eagle's going to be, this is going to be a tough spot to, and I know it seems weird because he's farther up the fairway, but you're throwing straight up and you have a low ceiling. So you've got to keep it in the middle while doing that, and it's not easy to do.
Hurry. Not that fast.
And that is going to be Scrambleville, USA.
Eagle does have the power to be able to shape this one through the fairway. Pulls it a little bit. Great kick. Very smart play there from Anthony. But if you're going to be smart, make sure you're extra smart.
Smart and talented. And Paul, he does have an opportunity to get a throw. And it's a pretty decent one.
Oh, baby.
Okay. This is a rare look for a 4.
Tough. Oh, he's going with a driver from this spot.
Interesting. Why do you think that is?
Well, maybe it's a comfortable, we were talking about having a rim that's comfortable in your hand.
Yep.
Maybe that's just a comfortable disc now for him.
I got to say, this is the prettiest the green has ever looked. They've cleared out that back left side, and they've also brought back the lattice fence on this hillside. If you go left where Eagle is, if you were to go left at that spot, it is a straight slope down.
Look at this shot. This is fantastic.
Isaac getting tricky. He wants to hit a tree right now. It continues to roll outside the circle, but yeah, from there, great effort. He's going to have a look for the 6.
There's going to be so many memes of me just saying, it's okay.
Paul for the 4 does not capitalize.
Wanted it, though. It juiced it.
And just getting a look on the hole for a 4 is incredible.
Wow.
What
a 5.
Yeah, good scramble.
See, and that's why you got to think par 5. He was under a bush, still was able to scramble for a
You'll
par.
Never convince me. Ever. I've played the hole. I've thrown 5 great shots and taken a 6.
Imagine if you had AB's skill set. This is child's play.
I'm not that creative. I could never imagine having the skills AB has.
I mean,
at the level he has them, I should say. And that's going to be a 7 for Isaac.
Would have been an amazing 6.
Be 2 double bogeys in the last 3 holes for Isaac, and he was cooking. He was 3 under. He had plenty of buffer strokes, and those are gone in a big way now. Eagle McMahon, meanwhile,
no birdies.
Never feel bad taking a 5. McBeth tap in 5. Still very well played hole. Still playing very well at 4 under. And that's going to drop Isaac back to 3 over. I'm going to give a shout out to the 2 players added to the birdie list all time, Jakub Semerad and Braden Sides, not to be confused with Waden Sides from JomezPro, the ace phenomenon on hole 15.
Well, you get done with 12, then you go into 13 here. Par 4, 653 feet. Very tight line off the tee. It's a tricky shot. You got to flip something up that gradually flips. Doesn't get stable, is pushing the whole way. It has to shape the fairway perfectly. Because if you don't, there are guardian trees all over the place. If you do get through, you'll typically have a fairly easy shot into the green. Tee shot's where the premium is. Like, that's where you have to score here.
Chris Dickerson from a little bit off the fairway going for a semi-aggressive second shot, clears the little pond and is left with that for the birdie.
But from where he is, that's not that hard of a shot. It really isn't, you know?
You're not wrong. And connecting on the birdie, Chris Dickerson moves to 4 under. Oh, that is 5 under, excuse me.
So if you're almost a flat going over.
Oh no.
Over that cut tree in the middle, that stump.
Paul.
See, this is too much hyzer, maybe.
With his distance, I think he can get away with it.
Right.
His speed allows him to be able to avoid having to flip it up.
Did you see how it was almost flat, though, and pushing?
It was close. Our current leader, Paul McBeth, in some danger here.
Eagle, same boat.
Whoa, I don't know if I've ever seen one go that far. He's actually going to have some back of the fairway obstacles to contend with.
This is good.
Yep, and this is going to be a little bit shorter, so it's going to require a tiny bit of a turnover.
Oh, really? What about that now? Still turnover.
He's still going to be throwing a left to right shape.
I've been down here before. Big ditch. You're going to have to do like some sort of sidearm flex or roller.
Oh my goodness, look at him. This is a horrible place to be. I mean, just can't really even imagine saving the par, right?
No chance.
I mean, if that had stood up,
would be a fantastic.
Yeah, sure. And from there, it's just a pitch around the corner. There's no play to try to cross the creek. I mean, the pond.
Kind of got to go.
Yeah.
Left too much work for himself from there.
So Isaac does have to go, and he scarplooshes it right in the middle.
Hit a Gatorade bottle, it looked like almost. I think that was just a reflection, though.
What a drive from Anthony, just to have a downhill look at it.
Needs to slow down.
I think it's fine. Hitting the upslope. Puts the brakes on.
So where McBeth is, it's going to have to come out with a... Oh, no.
Look at this.
Eagle just McMahon first.
Never seen someone outdrive this fairway. That is just I don't know. It's not a bad break because he, there's a certain landing zone. He drove past it, but you just don't ever expect someone to do that.
Yeah, what I was going to say is once you get this on Anheuser, you got to make sure that it hits the brakes. That's great.
Yeah, good touch there. McBeth will have that short putt for a bogey. Again, eliminating the doubles. Name of the game.
Go.
Oh, boy.
He's lucky he didn't hit that stake. That would have just been brutal.
That's like, it's not a mistake, but if he doesn't go out of bounds, it's such a silly mistake because you have that hillside there. You just drive the putter into it. There's no point in ever coming up short. And fortunately, he doesn't have to pay a price for it after that beautiful looking drive.
Really a smart play to lay up. He with his power, he had something over the top.
He was looking.
And he decided that, nope, we're just going to let it go.
It's been a while for Anthony, but he gets back a birdie.
Yeah, 1 over par with the finishing holes. Fine. If he can keep it around there and then get some coming in, he could have a fantastic round.
Well, this hole showed a little bit of its teeth, and we are going to head over to the second most difficult hole on the most difficult course. Well, this isn't Northwood Black. This is the Northwood Park layout. But it doesn't take away from how difficult this place is. Some are saying that it is more challenging than Northwood Black, and some are saying it's a little bit easier, but either way, there's really not a second most difficult as far as the courses that we play on tour go, as far as I'm concerned.
No, there's not 2 harder holes that we play than 12 and 14.
I mean, just look at it. There is a billion trees, and the thing is, which is really wild about this hole, is that it is about 25% more open than it was when we first played it.
I would agree.
It's taken a lot of clearing over the years. And Ricky Wysocki throwing his third shot. And that one kicks short and left. And I think that's just the dejection that you feel when playing out here. It's just at a certain point, man, you have to be so strong mentally. And if you're affected, it really shows.
Yeah, but it's Ricky.
Oh, but geez Louise, it's Ricky. What a birdie.
Unbelievable.
I mean, that was just straight up in the air. Rifling through.
Catch that.
No, come on. I thought that the editors put this in to show the other side of what this course brings. Nope. Highlights.
What a way to get a birdie. Both of those guys.
Need about 370 to 400.
You need this.
You need that.
Oh, man, that might be one of the better ones I've ever seen. He could go home. Seriously.
What do you mean? Just because he's done it?
No, he could go to the hole.
I think you said he could go home.
I did.
Home to the basket and like have an eagle look. You're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, that my brain can't quite compute that right now, and I can't even talk apparently. That was a great drive from Eagle. He might be forced to go the inside route.
Uh-oh. That's what you can't do. That's
right.
Guaranteed bogey.
Yeah, I don't even know if he's going to have any play to get to the corner. And if you can't get to the corner in 2, where Anthony just got in 1, no, you can't save a par.
This might be just as good.
Wow, 3 great drives.
Oh, no. Yeah, this is bad. And he's going to try, which is even worse.
What's he doing?
Pretty good.
A valiant effort. Certainly a valiant effort.
He could.
Yeah, the over-the-top play is possible, but he goes to the inside and he kicks the right side of the gap he was trying to hit, and that careens him back into the left side, and Paul's still going to be trying to find his way up the fairway. And Eagle does have access to the main fairway. This kicks him back to the left. Meanwhile, Isaac just...
How far are they?
About as good of a drive as you can throw. 440?
Yeah, see, so it's doable.
If you can throw 440 on a rope.
Well, I was thinking with the sidearm.
Well, let's see here. AB's lining it up. Oh, Paul.
Oh, my.
That has maybe never been thrown closer in 2.
Nope.
Oh,
Wowza.
boy.
I thought it was make-believe. Like, I was thinking it was possible because of who was throwing it, but then he did it.
But the speed and the angle of release, the turn it got, the fact that it made Josh look silly in the middle of the fairway, turning his camera again, all of it just picture perfect.
So Paul didn't get punished as much as I thought with that initial kick.
Mm-hmm.
He still had a play to the green, turns it over. I think he's going to be about 80.
Eagle would love to scramble through somehow with this forehand roller and get a birdie. It's been so long. And this is just overturned from the get-go.
Makeable from over there.
Apparently.
I can't believe how far AB got.
I'm stunned by how good that second shot was after how good the first shot was.
He just produces things like that. Like, it seemed like still to this day, Garrett's like that guy who gets eagles. You're like, oh yeah, he got it.
But now it's Anthony is the guy. Paul trying to give this a bid. Oh, chaining out for the bogey 6. Oh, we got to run that back, right? Let's see how close this thing was.
1 inch. Yeah.
I didn't really catch that many chains, but it still caught chains. He
One
definitely
more inch,
gave
maybe
it a bit.
it
Yeah, maybe.
in.
Yeah. Mach X likes the speed.
Eagle balancing a little twig.
He's wearing the course. Oh, man. Still has to fight for the par. And Isaac, man, this would be so nice to see him hit this one. Both Eagle and Isaac have been without a birdie for so long. And
Josh. No? Okay. He says we're good. Didn't touch him.
Now for Eagle, which I've never said before on the back nine. Oh.
Sit. Good effort.
Yeah. You'd have been hearing about that one for a long time. Eagle's going to take a bogey, man. That's just really unfortunate.
Don't want to let this one slip away.
Definitely not. He does not. Cleans up the birdie. There were a total of 9.
Nine birdies.
9 birdies. One of those was Calvin's little forehand throw-in. Ricky's putt was actually for par.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. You'll never see the whole play better. That was phenomenal there from Anthony Barela, just missing a eagle putt. The leaderboard still at 4 under with Chris Dickerson and Casey White as we fly down one of my favorite holes in disc golf. This is just such a beautiful par 4, 650 feet, a good distance for this type of shot because you want to land right here by that ditch or maybe just past it. And then from there, you have a very technical yet open feeling, different types of approaches. There's lines for the backhand, there's lines for the forehand, skip up to the hill. And just playing through the woods down green grass fairways is just beautiful. Just have to avoid going left out of bounds.
AB pulling out the Luna, putting it on Anheuser, and man.
Well, apparently I have my information wrong. Ricky's putt was for birdie. I apologize.
Oh, look at this, Jerm.
That's what you want if you're a player that disc golfs.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Eagle, is he going to get some frustration out?
It needs a lot of help, otherwise this thing's going to be...
Ooh, that was helpful. He needs another helpful.
Yeah, not going to find it. He is a decent ways past that creek, though, or that little dip in the fairway.
Uh-oh.
And Paul, this
That's
is
okay.
overturned. Oh, come on.
Remember?
Oh, kicks to the money spot. It kicks to the perfect spot. Just weaving its way through the trees.
He does have to take on a little danger. Doesn't want to do it, and he's just going to slide it up there.
Yeah, that's a good shot. Tough to do much better from back there.
Yeah, you have to push it out wider, and then you bring that OB
taking in the trees and the OB and everything. Now, AB, this is...
not the intended line.
Okay.
But it'll take it.
AB's looking to get 3 in a row here, and he has turned things around. He's back to even par with a good look at going 1 under. No player in the game trusts the height of a shot better or more. And Isaac, that time just a little too high.
Oh, this is early.
And Eagle has...
it's a good tree.
26 feet left for the par. McBeth would love to cancel that double bogey in the last hole with a birdie. And not a very good looking putt. Just pulls that one right.
Isaac's been at this distance quite a few times.
And another miss. It's got to be so frustrating being the defending champion and Eagle McMahon. It's been a frustrating day for both of those gentlemen.
Anthony working his way back in the hunt.
And he's under par.
If you can stay within 2-3 over par going in the last 4, you can manufacture a really nice round. If you're 1 over like he was.
Well, we've gotten through, I mean, really 15 is the beginning of the quote unquote easy-ish stretch as we finish out the round. We've gotten through the hard parts. 6 through 12 are just nightmarish. Fun, challenging, but nightmarish. Casey White once again gets back to 5 under par. Chris still in second at 4 under. And we head to 16 downhill putter shot for a lot of players. Just that one branch at the top of the ceiling there. You have to avoid hitting that. There's also those red stakes that denote the creek area. Any shots that go into that creek area, it's actual casual relief, but you have to go to those 2 stakes that you see just over the bridge. It's about 120 feet from the pin. You got to look here at Joel Freeman forcing a flex with his gator and gets over the wall, and it is inside bullseye parked. Favorite putter in the game is the disc that I threw to get there. We see James Conrad before splash out for ace on this hole. This one's not going to be ace running. It's low.
Fantastic putt, though, up the hill.
Well done.
That's all you're looking for. Get anywhere around that barrier.
It is such a steep uphill putt from there. The camera really doesn't do it full justice. And our leader, Casey White, is going forehand, shaping it from right to left, and he gets to the top of the hill. Good speed control. About 26 feet back down the hill.
Get in there. Sneaks it over the rim.
And that gets him to 6 under. And now we are on quote-unquote chase card, even though it's just a feature group.
Oh, baby.
Niklas Anttila, go in the hole.
Oh, baby.
Just touch metal. Come on. This is why Niklas Anttila is considered such a scary player here for this event. His favorite shot is the one that just starts off left and slowly drifts down the middle.
Scary putt, though. See if he can make good. He's on the highlight, so probably is the case.
And that putt gets him to 4 under par. And finally, back to our feature group, Anthony Barela, who's got 3 birdies in a row. This is low, but it's fast. Does it get over the wall? No, it does not.
Are you surprised he's not going Luna there?
I'm very surprised. I'm actually shocked. But maybe the Luna's too fast for him. Do they make anything slower than a putter there at Discraft?
I mean, he went with the buzz.
Yeah, that's surprising to me. Little overturned for Isaac.
I like the shape of this. He doesn't like it, though. He thinks he's going to hit the wall. That might be in that area.
I think he is fine. I think he's just got over it. I don't think he's going to like his putt. That's heading for that wall, yeah. And Anthony.
So he's not in the marked area. He's just in the casual relief spot.
Oh, interesting. What a putt. I'm trying to figure out how he's not in the marked area if he's in that creek.
Well, though, it's just the area with the red stakes.
Okay. Interesting.
Beautiful putt.
Very nice. And that's 4 in a row for Anthony. My excitement was slightly confused because I was trying to figure out where the red staked area is. I guess I'm a little bit confused on it.
Just to the left of where his lie was.
Okay.
It would connect. Eagle needs it.
Oh, great effort provided. Don't roll.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy. And that's the red marked area. And that means McBeth has to go backwards 100+ feet. And now he's got that for the par.
If it stays, oh, goodness. That was a little rushed. And if that gets on edge and goes back into that area.
And even the great ones have moments of uncertainty, and right now McBeth is going through one. One moment, just a few holes ago, going into hole 13, he was leading the tournament at 4 under par, and with a bogey putt, if he makes this bogey putt, no guarantees, he's going to drop back to even par. Not the hole that you'd expect a bogey for anyone, especially not this man right here. Didn't mean to gloss over Isaac Robinson's birdie.
Needed it.
Needed it. That'll cure what ails you. And that one even had its own little adventure getting over the rim. But man, not as much green as you guys might be used to seeing here on this back nine or any stretch of holes.
All right, you can take a break a little bit. Hole 17, par 3, 320, out of bounds down the whole left side. Sidearm flex plays. I think that's the best gap. If you do want to force a backhand on this one, you can have two different gaps. One very far left where you can throw like a turnover, which I'm sure Nicholas is going to show you right here.
Yep.
Oh, he's going.
Oh,
and that's the other one.
straight
So
at
that's
it.
the straight shot, which is.
Look at that. Oh my goodness. Back-to-back ace runs.
Oh my-
Niklas Anttila, you're an animal. The Nordic phenom off the top of the basket.
Look at this, just straight down the gut. I would for sure think he was going to go turnover, but not when you can do that.
Inches. He said pretty close. I love his humor too. He's a good player and a funny Finn. And a pretty good disc golfer too. 5 under now. Making a strong case to make our lead card going into round 2. Anthony going with the flex play. It's going to hyzer a little early, and you got to be careful about going underneath this bridge here. It is not a good place for a tall man. Don't ask me how I know.
All right, this is the turnover?
Yes, this is the turnover.
Okay.
And this is how Isaac hits gaps. He hits gaps by putting them on the line instantly, and that is perfect. What else can it possibly do?
No, that's an absolute perfect shot. Even better than the ace run. Because no chance of doing anything but just being right there. This is going to be overstable, boy.
And that's going to be out of bounds for Eagle. There is an optional drop zone. You may go to the drop zone, which I think would be advantageous for him.
Could go in.
It just stays holding on that right side.
Beautiful.
That's a great bounce back tee shot from McBeth. Short look for the birdie to get back under par. Well, Eagle is going to stay where he went, out of bounds. Drop zone shot's a lot easier than this.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
I mean, this is probably going to be pretty close to the OB line.
He went to the park, he went to the bridge and the bank, all in one little trip. So Anthony is under the bridge and he's taking his casual relief back. And that's high. Same thing I did under the bridge. Ugh.
Hey, at least you didn't have to go 100 feet backwards. McBeth.
I know.
Those are ones you want to get, though,
I just feel like that little red area, this should be an optional relief. You should, I don't know. I didn't quite understand why it's a mandatory relief. But that's the rules, and we're all playing. So. But it seems silly to me that you lose 100 feet. You're so close to the basket, and now all of a sudden you're 120 feet back. We've never done that in our sport.
I'm with you.
Well, Chris Dickerson is tied Casey White at the top at 6 under par. These are just phenomenal scores. Anything below 3 unders are a great score on this course. 4 unders are a really great score. 5 and 6, awesome.
Anything under par on this course is great.
Yes, of course. We're talking about like you're feeling like your friends are coming up to you, looking at you with a big smile saying, dude, good shooting type of good. You know, that's like a different type of good shooting as we're looking at the final hole here. We've played this hole in the past. Hole 18 is a little bit farther up the hill to the right. It's a little bit harder to access if you don't throw perfect shots. And this is Casey's third shot. And he's going to have that left to get to 7 under. I'll take a look at Sullivan Tipton with his approach. It hasn't been the greatest day, but it was a great finish.
That'll bring a smile to your face. Good on you.
And Casey.
Course record.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's a new course. Course record is now 7 under. And there's going to be a lot of people with big smiles saying, good shooting, Tex. Even though he's not from Texas. Just kind of a boring tee shot, to be honest with you. It's just a placement shot, putting yourself in position. If you like big forehands, that's a great spot, even though it's not in the short grass. That's a good angle from there.
Good spot.
Yep.
Yeah, that tee pad, you can see it from the tee, and it's a good indicator of where you want to land. You want to land short of it because if you get to the tee pad, you're pushing the right side. Like right there, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's exactly where you want the disc to land. It's going to open up a really good forehand second shot for AB.
Now this one's flatter, so if it hits, it could have more ground play. See that?
Yeah, but it hangs on.
Yeah, it's okay. There is a ditch over there, too, that you can kind of get into. That's annoying.
So this is the really cool part of the hole. This little pinch is what makes this a really great final hole. And AB hits the gap, gets the fade.
Perfect.
It's going to set up. He can go backhand, forehand, whatever he wants now in the next shot. It sets up for a good forehand because it's up the hill and to the right. And the way that it slopes right to left, it wants to gather the forehand nicely.
Look at this shot, though, Jerm.
Yeah, this is just as good, if not better. Even Isaac wants to join the party with a forehand turnover. It's going to be a little short. Doesn't get through the gap. What I like about this pinch is that you can't just get through the gap. You still have to hit it with speed to really be in position to get your birdie.
Very good.
That wasn't a ton of speed, but that's fine for eagle. Position play, bottom of the hill. Should be a par coming up for Isaac.
Still got that smooth forehand stroke, doesn't he?
It doesn't look like he's throwing it. I didn't quite think he had gone far enough to be able to reach it with his shoulder surgery, but apparently just fine.
Very good.
Yep. Great shot for Anthony. Paul's actually going to go backhand. Yeah. That's going to bring him back to 2 under. So good finishing holes for Paul after the near debacle, the slight debacle on 16. All right, just some short cleanup putts left. Anthony Barela first. Whoops. I haven't seen that from him this year.
No, not very often. That one barely gets in there, too.
Yeah, I mean, think about all the putts we feel like we saw from Isaac that just didn't go in. 2 over par in the end.
You see the flags? It is a tailwind, so they are kind of dropping.
Yeah, sure. But still, he knows he's got to make that 100%.
Oh, for sure.
It's not blowing hard enough to affect a putt from that range, especially not for a player with his putting caliber and obvious frustration there. That would have been a really good finish. If he makes a putt on 17 and 18 and he finishes at 4 under, he might even be on lead card. We'll take a look at scores here in a moment, but Isaac really not that bad, 2 over, considering how many putts we saw miss. But there is our lead card going into second round.
Yeah, 7 under is incredible. 6 under is incredible. But now we know the mark. Tomorrow, bad
5 under. Good shooting, dude. I mean, 3 under, but you're in 5th place.
Yeah.
Yep. Continue your thought. I just wanted to give you a little props.
I appreciate it. No, with the rain tomorrow, I think we know what's possible. 7's the mark. If you can do that in the rain tomorrow, you can move up a lot. So my point is somebody like Eagle, all of a sudden he shoots a 7. He's back in the mix. He really is.
Totally. Yep. Well, one round in the books. We are 25% of the way through the 2024 Champions Cup here in Peoria, Illinois. And you can see what we have to deal with. It is it's a diabolical course.
Absolutely.
And it is a tough one. And we'll see who's mentally and physically ready to handle the next 3 rounds starting tomorrow. We'll see you for round 2.